later.
Okay.
For those who
what we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. What's going on, Mecha Army? Yes, it is Sabo week. You guys, SabotenCon is at the end of this week. It is finally here, and I am excited. I fly out Thursday. I get there Thursday night. Yes, it's going to be amazing. So if you can get out there to beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, I highly recommend it. I'm going to be hanging out there with those Gundam guys, the Arizona Builders Club, the whole 9 yards, and everybody else in attendance. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited. Yes. Anyway. So that's in Phoenix, Arizona. It is August 30th to September 2nd. So it's a long weekend, long 4-day convention, anime convention. There's going to be a little bit for everybody, I think. I think it's going to be pretty damn cool. I've seen pictures from previous years, and it looks really interesting. Let's put it that way. Looks really interesting. So, fun times. But hey, if you want to get one of these amazing, awesome airdrop shirts, these chibi shirts, designed by our good friend Corey DeYonker, Mr. Links53 over there on Instagram, I highly suggest you go check out www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find shirts and bags, or shirts and hats, and all sorts of other cool stuff. So go get you some, stock up now, and then if you're interested in any of the tools, materials, and stuff like that that we're working with here tonight, you can find an Amazon link just below here on YouTube and Twitch. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I get a bit of commission based off of the stuff that you buy, but it goes to help out the stream, so go and buy a lot of stuff. It is appreciated. Also with that, if you are interested in kits or paints or tools or accessories or Mecha Decals, I highly suggest you go check out our friend right down here, Mr. Adam Ryan, and his crew down there at USA Gundam Store. I know Adam's over there on YouTube. What's going on, dude? We've got some exciting news about Mecha Decals that we can't share right this second, but it's amazing. Maybe next week. Go check out Adam and the crew. They'll definitely hook you up with whatever you need. So, there you go. Let's see. Jacob Cook's over there on YouTube. He says, "What up, Tim? Can't wait for SabotenCon. Hopefully we can have some kind of cool group hangout or dinner." Man, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be, I think it's going to be like 100 miles a second, going on. So I don't know. I can't guarantee anything, dude. I would love to, but I know I'm kind of obligated to be there from start to finish. And then, I'm going to be obviously with those Gundam guys hanging out and seeing them and everything. So I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. So like I said, can't guarantee anything, but we're just going to have to play it by ear, right? William Wilm says, drinks lots of water when you're in that, when you are that close to the sun, right? Man, I'm going to be inside. I don't even know, honestly, guys, if I'm going to be, I don't know if I'm going to see the sun for those 4 days. Let's put it that way. Because like I said, I'm obligated to be there from start to finish, and it's in the hotel where I'm staying at, so I really don't have to go outside. So who knows? I may miss the heat altogether. We don't know yet. We'll see when we get there, right? I don't know what to expect. It's like I'm flying blind here, guys. Like, I'm just gonna take it as it comes because it's awesome. But yeah. So it's gonna be good. Max Robidoux is over there on Facebook, and he says, "Oh my God, more decals I have to buy." Not exactly. Although that's in the plans, but not exactly. And we'll, like I said, I'll talk to Adam, and we'll kind of release it maybe next week or something like that, if all things happen appropriately. Yeah, so we'll see. Oh man, but look at that, Bro Builder, Mr. Brian. He's over there. He says, "What's up, y'all? I'm plenty busy painting for Char Month, and will be lurking unless the discussion gets saucy." Well, come on, Brian. It always gets saucy. You're on the Child of Mecha live stream, buddy. This is one step down from Mechanism, you guys. And if you missed it, you missed a good show on Friday. So I highly recommend go back and check it out. So, Soravan is over there on Twitch. What's going on, Soravan? He says, I missed the first minute or two. Let me guess, no stream Friday and maybe Monday too. Oh yeah, no, that's actually a good segue into talking about scheduling. Yes, and Soravan is absolutely correct. No Friday stream, and no Monday stream either. So it's going to be a 2-stream week this week and a 2-stream week next week. Hell, maybe even a 1-stream week next week, depending on how exhausted I am. Because I know I will be tired as hell coming home. Because I fly back. I fly back on Monday night. I get into BWI, Baltimore, at 2 in the morning. And then I have to drive home another hour. So I'll probably make it home by about 4 in the morning, because I'm gonna have to, get off the plane, get my bags, go out, get the car, all that crap. You guys understand. But yeah, so it'll be like 4 in the morning before I get back. So I may be just a very tired little boy. I don't know. But anyway, yes. 2-stream this week, tonight and on Wednesday. And we're going to kick this thing in its ass. And I've got some exciting stuff to show you here on these back skirts. And I think you guys are going to like it. So we'll get into that here in a minute. Max Robidoux over there on Facebook, he says, I got more of the last set and they look awkward next to the Bandai ones because they're too clear. That's the point, man. That's the point. The point is to make sure they're amazingly clear. And you know what? Just be mad at Bandai for chinsing out on the quality. We didn't, though. We didn't. So Sean is over there just wrapping up the last of my birthday celebration and catching up on work. It goes well, brother. Dude, I forgot. Zashawn, happy birthday, man. Everybody, no matter where you are, wish Z a happy birthday. Wish him a happy birthday, you guys. Come on. Yay, Zashawn, happy birthday. There it goes. Now they're starting to come in. Happy birthday. Look at this. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Zashawn. Look at that. Yay. So Roosh says Mecha Army decal. Come on in. Yeah. You never know. Julius Dembski asks, he's over there on YouTube. He says, Tim, what was that you said about last week about Northwest Shortline? Yes, guys, big update about Northwest Shortline. And if you guys don't know what Northwest Shortline is, they are the makers of this fine tool right here, the Chopper 2. My favorite modeling tool by far. Yes, so officially, evidently one of the Northwest Shortline employees bought the company from the owner, and they will be restarting the business soon. So I don't know if anybody knows what that exactly means, but hopefully the Chopper 2 will get put back into production cycle, and there'll be more out there. That's a good thing for us. That's a really, really good thing. Yeah, they're back, thankfully. Adam says that's what they told me too. So cool, official. Yes. Evidently, that's on their Facebook page and on their website as well. So the confirmations are definitely out there. So yes, Northwest Short Line is coming back, hopefully with a vengeance. Yeah. Persistent Turtle says, need Arnold saying get to the chopper. Yeah, right? That would be funny, but I'd probably get a copyright strike knowing me. What are you going to do? Cheesy Gunpla says, caught the live stream. Good morning, everyone. Evening, everyone. Just stripped the paint off of the shoulder of the Zaku heavy cannon. Damn cats, LOL. Stay hydrated. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. William Wilms says, maybe they will unveil the Chopper 3, right? Well, this isn't D23. I probably doubt that, right? But, yeah, should be fun. Space Raft 53, the Hobby Lobby here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, has started carrying evergreen polystyrene sheets and rods. Excellent. As long as they carry the strips, then you're really in good shape. Because that's what I use a lot, and that's what we're going to be showing you here tonight as well. So it'll be fun. Persistent Turtle says, slap chopper. That I like. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, the slap chopper. Donnie Baxter over there on Facebook, he says, Chopper 3 exists already. Really? I've not seen it. Of course, I've never really had the need to look for it. So, what are you going to do? Edwin Arce is over there on YouTube. What's up, Edwin? What a relief knowing the Chopper 2 is going to be available again, right? That's a good thing for modelers all around. Space Rat 53 and he says, and strips too. Nice. The Hobby Lobby carried strips too, because that's the bread and butter of evergreen plastics, evergreen scale plastics, whatever it's called. So, yeah. Zach Heflin's over there on YouTube. What's up, Zach? Working on the Double Zeta, first non-mono eye kit I've built in years. He says he's digging it so far. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, so you guys, let's jump into building, because like I said, I've got some stuff to show you. Let's set this up, and let's go camera 2. And here is what we've got thus far, right? Here's one of the back skirts. So, if you've been following this, we have, I ran into kind of a brick wall with what I was going to do with these little fins and stuff like that down near the bottom. But I came up with a much better solution, in my opinion, and I put on a little vent kind of thruster deal right there, right? And if you're not sure where that came from, it came from the Greebly box, you guys. So the Greebly box has finally started paying off. That's it right there. So all I really did was tacked on a 4x2.5 strip right there at the top. I cut off this top flap here, and just glued this on, trimmed it to fit, and slapped on a couple of these little teeny tiny strips right there. Made this little notch there just to give it flavor, right? And there you go. You've got a new looking little back skirt, and I think it looks pretty good, right? I think it looks pretty good. So, but this isn't done yet. This is not done yet. No. Juan Crovero, he's over there on Facebook. What's going on, dude? He says that is bad fucking ass. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is not its final form. It's like Dragon Ball. It's not its final form. Yeah. So we put that away, and we get this bad boy out here with that with this nice little, these little details over here. And you know what? It's hard to see in this over here. Let's get super zoomed in so you can see the all the crunchy details and everything. Let's get our box. Where's the box? Get the box. Box. Come on. There you go. And let's get this lined up appropriately. And 5x super zoom. All right. Okay. So there is that nice detail. And it's got some notches, and it's got a lot of plating and levels to it, and it's all trimmed perfectly, man, and it's just looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned. And it wraps nicely around that one bevel there, and yes, that's looking pretty good, I think. I really like that. I really do like that. Persistent turtle. Oh, layers like an ogre. Like an onion. There you go. I like it. Good reference. Zach Heflin says, holy shit, I'm digging the hell out of that. I need to change mine now. Nice. Black Otter Team, what's up, Ian? He says, paying dividends. Dude, it really is. Really is. Manny McDio says, yo, Tim, let me buy that Greeb box, man. Nah. No. Mine. My Greeb box. Nobody else's. That's mine. Make your own. William Williams says, are you saying you're taking it to Super Xeon Blue? I don't know. See, I never really watched Dragon Ball Z, you guys. I just never got into it. You know, I know little tidbits and stuff. I know like level 9,000 or whatever it is, right? Final, you know, it's not my final form or whatever. You know, I know little things like that, basics, like just enough to be dangerous, right? Dragon Ball Z was never my thing, so whatever. Anyway, I digress. Zach Eflin says, oh my god, it's insane. I want to see you do a straight up Sinanju Stein. Oh my god, yeah. I'd have to, I don't know, man. I'd have to customize it somehow. I can't leave well enough alone. It's a sickness. I admit it. Superset 5's over there on Twitch. What's going on? That's crazy. Usually the final form takes 20 episodes, but you pulled it out of nowhere. Right? Yeah, well, hey, it is what it is. Juan says, damn, dude, that's just marvelous. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate that, buddy. What's a green box? Oh, a Greeb. You know what? Juan hasn't been here. Juan hasn't seen the Greeb box. Let's show Juan the Greeb box, okay? For those of you that don't know, Crow Vero over on Instagram, go follow him. He's really, really good, and he's so deserving of your follow. He's making this like crazy Kit Bash Ronin thing that is just like insane, right? So I highly recommend it. But you know, just for Juan, we're gonna get back out of Super Zoom here, and we're gonna show him the Greeb box, and just kind of show him the resin goodness. Yeah. So Juan, so just for you, buddy. So what I did was I made plates. I used glass, plates of glass, little glass plates, right? And made these guys here, resin molds, these guys, and then I just basically just cast the shit out of them. You know, I just went to town casting, and so what I have here is a bunch of Greebs, like a bunch of Greebs. So, I mean, I've got I've got big greaves, I got small greaves, I got medium-sized greaves, I got vents, I've got like thrusters, I got this. I don't even know why I casted this. This is like the little thing from the Sinanju bazooka or whatever, right? I got round greaves, I got triangular greaves, I got square greaves, I got box greaves, I got all sorts of greaves, I got all the greaves any greaves could want. So, and that's just a lot of casting, just a ton of casting. So, yeah, man, it's fun. He says, "Oh shit, Greeb, LOL, fucking green." Yeah, good one, Juan. Ultraman Dino, what's up, Luis? He's over there on YouTube, man. He says, "Hey, dude, I started a new job and have been super busy." Yeah, nice. He says, "I haven't been here in weeks, dude." That's okay, man. Priorities, dude. Priorities, right? Black Outer Team, Greebs. Bro Builder says, "I'll do a Stein custom build off with you, Tim." Oh, dude, Brian, you would finish that like 5 months ahead of me. It's no use, man, for real. Ultraman Dino says, "I've also been studying for the FAA Part 107 certification test, which I took this morning." Damn, dude, nice. Well, best of luck, Luis. I hope you did good, man. That's awesome. FAA. Are you gonna be a pilot? Like, is that like, or are you gonna be like ground crew or something? Like, let me know, because it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Juan says, "Oh, just for me." Dude, yeah. Oh, and Luis says he passed it. Cool. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Ruslam Bill says, "Started a new position today. First time doing Monday through Friday in 20 years. Gonna pass out. Y'all have fun." Dude, Bill. Good luck, buddy. Ultraman Dino Luis says, "Wait, you sounded like you knew I had gone to take it and passed it." Maybe he's talking about Manny. I don't know. Juan says, Juan Croveri says, "Holy shit, so you have like a ton of little details." Yeah, dude, I really do. It's like, yeah, crazy. Let's see. Zach Heflin says, "You are frozen on YouTube." Am I? I don't know, man. It might just be you, Zach. Refresh it. Cause nah, it's good for me, and I don't know if anybody else is doing it or not. But Max Robido over there on Facebook, he says Part 107 is drones. Oh, nice, cool, drone pilot. Like, what? Juan says, "But that is so amazing. Recasting sounds amazing, but fuck, it sounds like a lot of work, man." It can be. It can be. You know, the main part about casting, you guys, is the molds. Getting these right. These are the toughest part, right? And I'm sure Brian will back me up on that. Those right there, those, you know, Greebly plates are just simple, basically just simple one-part dump molds, as they're called. And yeah, they're super, super easy. Now, like 2 parts like this, that I cast for the new elbow piece, this is a little bit tougher, because you actually have to think about airflow and everything like that. That's kind of the, you know, the tough part. This one here was the little curvy part that we're gonna attach to the fuel tanks and stuff too. 2-part molds are a lot tougher than a 1-part dump mold, but you get used to it. So yeah, Bro Butter says it can be. My words exactly. There you go. But these 1-part dump molds, I mean, these are super, super easy to work with, because basically, you know, you figure out how much resin you need for one of these. And for me, these are about 1 ounce, give or take. And then I have a silicone scraper. And what I do is I just make sure everything is filled, and then just scrape the excess right off, and you got pretty much perfect molds after that. Now, you're probably going to have to sand the bottoms a little bit, because some of them can be uneven and stuff, but that's the easiest thing to do, and it's not that hard. So, yeah. Crowbear Juan says airflow. There's air and resin. No, it's so when you pour, like for instance, this mold here, right? You pour it, you fill it from the bottom, right? So you have to make a pour channel, and you fill in, and it fills from the top. So the air has to escape. That's what I mean by airflow, right? Now with blocky square parts like this, you only need a vent spout right up there at the top, and it's easy. But for some of them, you need multiple air spouts. You need multiple connection points so little sharp pieces don't catch air bubbles in them. So yeah, it's after you do it for a while, it becomes second nature, right? So let's see. Tex is with us. What's going on, Armida? Persistent Eternal question, Tim.
We have a question.
He says, what resin are you using? Thin parts I'm trying to have yet to come out rigid. I use Smooth On products. I use for the resin greeblies and stuff like that, I have been using Smooth Cast 305. It's got a 7-minute pot life, meaning your work time, and then it's a 30-minute cure time. Now, what I usually do is I don't use it. I'll take it out after 30 minutes, but I'm not going to use them right away. I'll let them sit out overnight and really kind of solidify nice, and that's usually a good... It's usually a good, way to handle resin. But Smoothcast 305. If you are trying to find it, hit the Amazon link just below. I've got it in the little Child of Mecha page on Amazon, so you can find it pretty inexpensively. And it's on Prime, too, so it gets to you in 2 days. Easy peasy. That's what I did, and works out really, really, really well. And the fact that it's a 30-minute cure time is beautiful too. Yeah, Brian, 305 is a great place to start. Yes, it is. It's a nice white resin. It's got respectable pot life, great cure time, because I used to use Smoothcast 322, which had a 30-minute pot life and then like a 4-hour cure time. That's really good for kind of finicky molds that have a lot of detail, or like a lot of channels and connections and stuff like that, things that you really need to let the air escape from. So I like that for really complicated molds, but for the most part I've been using 305 and it's worked wonderful. So 305 is great. It's inexpensive, easily available, the whole nine. Persistent Turtle says, thanks, I just got 300. I haven't tried it yet. Will do. 300 is more of a quick cure resin. It's got like a 3-minute pot life or a 5-minute pot life, something like that. And it's got like a 10-minute cure time. Dude, it is super quick. So you gotta move very fast when you're working with that stuff. It's tough to use that in a pressure pot because it doesn't give you a lot of time to get the pot pressurized. So if you're not using that, then that's probably fine. I like a little bit of a longer work time and a little bit of a longer cure time too, just to make sure the air is escaping properly. So. Superset 5, do you need a pressure pot for 1-part molds? Technically, you don't need a pressure pot for any molds, but a pressure pot is an amazing thing to have if you're doing resin casting, simply because any little bubbles in your molds or in your cast, it will just crush down to nothing, and you'll basically be bubble free. And I'm talking about little bubbles, like surface bubbles and stuff like that, bubbles that get caught maybe like in your panel lines or something. It doesn't get big ones, right? You gotta make sure that air is vented properly, right? But little ones, it'll crush down to nothing, and you'll have a nice solid cast and a solid mold. So you can build one for probably about 110, 120 bucks. And then, just get a cheap compressor from, like I just bought a generic HDX little pancake compressor from Home Depot. It was on sale 1 year for like 30 bucks. I was like, dude, that's a no-brainer. So I pressurized the pot to about between 55 and 60 psi. That's plenty enough. So a pressure pot is great. It's not necessarily needed though. But just make sure you're, powdering the inside of your mold, making sure that that air can't grasp onto the surface of your mold and stuff like that. So, best practices. Let's see. Brian says the tester size is quite versatile. Yeah, and that's all I ever get is just the tester size. Because in what I do and what I cast, all of that came out of one tester set. And I also got these. These are the scratch built boosters for the Hummingbird, and then I got all of Little Andrew's thruster bells, and I got a bunch of other things, and I think that it's maybe I still think I have like a third of the amount still left in there. So you can cast a ton of little parts with that tester set. So it's really, really good. Just make sure you use it because it's got like a 6-month shelf life, and that's it. It's finite. So one of the drawbacks. Juan Crovera says, because I'm very interested in resin, man, just not ready. Man, you're never ready. You just got to jump in, dude. Just got to jump in. Ultraman Dino Luis says, by the way, Tim, that back skirt looks amazing, and you're not even done with it yet. Really cool. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Luis. I really appreciate that. Persistent Turtle says, just need an RV to set up a casting lab. Holy shit. Persistent Turtle's going like Walter White here on us, you guys. Holy shit. He's gonna be like in the full Breaking Bad ensemble and everything. Jeez. Hey, cheers to Persistent Turtle. Oh, my oh my. That's funny, dude. That is funny. Brobutter Brian says, I use 320 for my pressure cast. Kicks pretty fast, 10 minutes, but I am well versed, so no issue. I let them sit for about an hour. I also buy the gallon. Preps are big. Shit, dude. Yeah, because you go through like resin like crazy, Brian. That's the thing, man. I don't. I need it every once in a while. So the tester sets are really just good for me, right? Travis Chaos, what's going on? Mr. Chaos Win, he's over there on YouTube. He says, hello, everyone. What's up, Travis? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Persistent Turtle cast all blue parts. Yes, I love it. Julio Ponte, clipping nubs. He says, you saw that Breaking Bad trailer? Or that Yes, the Breaking Bad movie. Yes. It's called El Camino. I guess the further adventures of Jesse Pinkman. Holy shit, color me excited, man. I am really looking forward to that. Simply because it's on Netflix and they don't have the limitations say like basic cable does, right? So it's a good thing. That's a good thing. They can do whatever they want. So that's awesome. Yeah, and I can't wait for it. So that comes out what, in November, something like that? I think it's 11/10 or maybe it's October 11th. I don't know. There's like 10 and 11 in there or something like that. I don't know. Something. So yeah, go check it out. It's called El Camino. I think it's gonna be really good. At least I hope so. Let's put it that way. I hope it's really good. Manny McDio says he's got a question.
We have a question.
I have rubber tubing on my whip Jorge, and I want to know if it can be primed and painted. No, man. I wouldn't even try it, dude, to be honest with you. Because it's going to as soon as you bend it, it's going to crack, flex, and it's going to just chip off. It's like painting polycaps, dude. It's just not worth it. Now, you can paint it with silicone-based paint. And honestly, I honestly have never had to look for that, so I wouldn't know where the first place to look is. Maybe Brian can chime in on that. He might know a little bit more about where to find that than me, especially in NY. But yeah, dude, nothing sticks to rubber except for rubber. So it's almost worthless. And hell, that shit may be mad expensive. If you can scratch build something, if you don't need it to be rubber, if it can be like rigid plastic, then you can paint it like anything else. But that's just, I don't know. I'm spitballing there, dude. I don't know what your needs are. Persistent Turtle says, having 4 kids and a wife who all build, I've been stacking up parts pretty quick that way. Nice. See, and that's the best way, because that's all I did. Like, I took parts from, the scrap bin and from kits that I specifically bought to, Kit Bash and stuff like that, and I just casted what I liked. Easy peasy. Edwin RSA, before I forget, what glue did you use to glue down your Grebe original parts to the glass plate? Oh, dude, yeah. BSI, Bob Smith Industries, that's all. Just super glue. I mean, any super glue will work, right? Just be sparing with it, because any squeeze out on the sides is going to mold, and it's going to cast, so you will see that. And you'll have to trim that up every single time off of those parts. So it's a pain in the ass. So just be sparing with it. Just make sure it's solidly attached to the glass. And yeah, you'll be good to go. So Julio says, oh, it comes out in October. Okay, cool. Zach Heflin, people always tell me I look like Pinkman. Dude, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, man, for real. He says LOL for better or for worse. Nice. William Williams, all I know is that this Friday is Dark Crystal. Yeah, this Friday is Dark Crystal, and then also Carnival Row on Amazon. The Orlando Bloom Cara Delevingne show. I want to see that. That looks really that show looks kind of like right up my alley, right? It looks cool. It looks really cool. Persistent Turtle. What about wrapping it in PET wire loom? Oh yeah, that could be a good one too. Yeah, wrapping the Manny's rubber hoses and stuff in like a weave wrap, almost like those what are they? Like the shoelaces. Yeah, that could be interesting. Bro Butter says, check with Complete Sculptor down on the Lower West Side off the Spring Street Blue Line stop. Interesting. There you go, Manny. Could be a resource, right? Charge Wins, he's over there on YouTube. He says, my brother bought me a chopper and label tape. Awesome. I finally feel like a real scratch builder now. Started on the armored GM prototype again today. It felt good to get that build going finally. Awesome, dude. You're going to love that thing. For real. Manny says, I was thinking about just wrapping it in plow plate. Could be. Yeah, it could be. I don't know how you're going to do that, but it's an option, right? I mean, you could make little plastic beads, like the Zaku power cables and stuff like that, and thread it on. It's an option. I don't know if it's a good option, but it's an option. Edwin RSA, thanks, Tim. Dude, you're welcome. Julio says, word up, Complete Sculptor. There you go. Cool. All right. So, you guys, let's go back to camera 2. Let's talk about this back skirt, yeah? Because I'm really digging into this. I'm really digging this look, right? Just the cutout here at the bottom just kind of sets everything off. These little ribs here right on the fin. Once that's painted, that'll catch nice detail. You can see it a little bit better on this one, since I didn't mark the layout lines all over the place. But all together, man, I think that's a really, really good look. And man, those vents right there, yeah, I think that's gonna look really, really nice. And then this little pop of complex detail right here on the back skirts, and it's just gonna be peeking out here, just right there on the side. That's gonna be peeking out, and you'll be able to see that probably pretty well. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, you'll be able to see it once these are on. Ah, you son of a... Alright. Stay on, damn it. So once these are connected, see, that'll pop right there, just right through that opening, and that'll look super, super nice. Yeah. That'll look good. That'll look really good. I like it. I like it. So let's get this guy pulled off of here. Now, what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be replicating this high-level detail piece on the side, or at least we're going to start to duplicate that. I have already pre-cut a lot of the components to make this thing. There's still other components that I have not cut yet for this, but for the most part, these are going to be what we need here, right? So as you can see, there's not a ton here, but they go together in such a way it makes that beautiful little detail piece there. So yeah, but before we get into that, Superset, he has...
We have a question.
He says, to get a mirror chrome finish, do I put clear coat over enamel gloss black and then add my choice of silver? Also, how long do I let the enamel paint cure before adding silver? Very good question. Technically, you don't need enamel. You don't need enamel paint to achieve a really nice gloss clear coat. What I have done, and what I've done with working with the Armored Komodo, is I used excuse me, I used just a nice, really smooth primer. So what I did was I sanded the plastic first down to about 1500 wet sand, and then shot a layer of Mr. Surfacer 1000 on that, wet sanded that again down to about 1000, and then laid down Mr. Surfacer Black 1500, and then over top of that, then I sprayed a nice wet coat of Mr. What is it called? Mr. Super Clear Gloss, and that will give you a high gloss finish, right? Then over top of that, then you want to do your metallic of choice. Now, to get a true mirror chrome, you're going to have to look for a mirror chrome paint, like Alclad. I know Mr. Color makes one in one of their metallic series. I believe SMS. I think Scotty has one. And then, of course, Armored Komodo has the chrome pigment as well. There's a few other ones out there, but those are kind of the ones that I would probably lean to if I was doing chrome. But if you're going straight lacquer based like that, you don't have to let it cure all that long. Usually 15-20 minutes between coats is pretty good, and then you just kind of move on about the process. If you're really paranoid, give it an hour between coats, but you should be able to get a really, really nice finish with that kind of process. So yeah. Ben Kiat Yap is over there. On YouTube, he says, for high grades, usually the back skirt is empty. Any tips on how to trace the back skirt outline and scratch build a design layout on it? Seen a lot of pro modeler does this. Usually what I do is to not necessarily trace the outline of it, but I usually just sand the surface with like an 800 grit, and then just take a normal pencil and just draw out your design, right? Because the pencil will just erase off really simply. And then you can just go about it and kind of lay it out with tape and everything to get a really fine-tuned design. That's all I ever do. That's all I ever do. Likewise, you can take a picture of it with your phone, right? Most phones, if you are taking a flat, like a picture of a flat surface, it'll have kind of the crosshairs that line up, and once you get those perfectly lined up, then you know you're straight. All that stuff. So those are options. Those are options. Superset 5s, do I need a clear coat between the two? You don't technically. No. If you use gloss black over top of the primer, then you're good to go. I use it simply because for the black base coat, I just use the 1500 black primer. So that's all I do. And it's not technically gloss, it's just a very, very smooth finish, right? And Sorvan says, not really if you do a good job on the black. Yeah, exactly. If you use an actual gloss paint, then you'll be fine. Yeah. Sorvan says, look up Genic on YouTube. He does a lot of metal finishes, lots of examples. There you go. Guy has a chrome, but it's expensive. On the plus side, it's pretty idiot resistance. Wow. And then Franco echoes that. Franco358 over there on YouTube, Guy notes, has a new mirror chrome as well. Nice. Slick Builder over there on Twitch says, I got the decals you had for sale on USA Gundam. They look amazing. I can't wait to try them out. Sweet. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. A lot of people really seem to like them. So yeah, I think you'll like them too. Chargewinds is over there on YouTube. He says, what did you use on the Justice head to get the chrome gold look, Tim? On the Justice head? You mean on the faceplate? I don't know. There was no gold on the Justice head. But if you're talking about the faceplate, that's stock. I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for that one. That's Bandai. Chris Pabs is over there on Facebook. He says, "What is up? What's going on, Pabs? Nothing much. Just trying to get to work on this little back skirt here. We're trying to duplicate some details and stuff. So let's not stand on ceremony here. Let's get to work, right? So first things first, let's put on our eyes, you guys." Slick Builder's over there on Twitch. He says, I've used a lot of cartograph decals on other scale models, and they never disappoint. Dude, that's an accurate statement. Cartograph decals are amazing, aren't they? And they make a ton of decals for OEMs and stuff like that. Tamiya, Hasegawa, Revell, companies like that. So if you're going to make decals, go with the best printer in the world. That's what we did. Chris Pabs, covered in resin dust, just sanding away in my CGC build. Oh, you guys. Yeah, if you guys missed Mechanism on Friday, I'm going to tell you what, man. Chris Pabs is in resin dust hell right now with that Yak Mirage 5-star story kit. If you don't know what it is, go look it up or go watch Mechanism. This thing is I'm not underestimating this. It is a beast. And something I would never want to tackle in my life. So, kudos to Chris. Kudos to Chris. Julio, as November draws closer, I get more excited for the bar build-off with Pabs. Nice. Slick Builder over there on Twitch, he says, good choice. Yeah, man. Gotta go with the best, right? Gotta go with the best. Tech says, was a good night, and not just cause of the resin dust. Yeah, right? For real. Alright, cool deal. Alright, so we got our eyes on, centered up, we're good. So, the first thing that we lay down is the base, and obviously you can't really see it too much under this, but this allows for the different level changes, especially down here at the bottom. So to do that, what we do first is we come up, what is that, what did I measure up? 4. We get our guideline measured up. Yep, and that's 4 millimeters off the bottom. So we're going to use one of our scribing jigs as a measuring template, and we're going to come up 4 millimeters on this thing, right? And then we're going to just simply draw a guideline right there, right across. Simple as that, right? Now, that is going to be our glue line. So we've got our base sheet right here. This is 6.3 wide by 1/4 millimeter thick, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to just lay this down right to the line there, and we're going to center that up the whole 9 yards. So we're going to get out our BSI super glue, my super glue of choice, and we're going to go to town on this. Now, why super glue, you may ask? Well, it helps to work faster. And with little things like this, I'm not seaming or anything like that. So, if I can work faster and show you guys faster, it's a win-win for everyone. That's what I think. All right, so let's get this thing glued up here. So we've got to make sure that 1, it's on the line, and then 2, this is centered on this plate here. Right there. Ah, come on, you. Alright, we just try to get any of the excess squeeze out glue off of there now, because it's going to make life easier down the line, right? Okay, just press that on there. And as you can see, we've got a little bit of hangover here. Much like the hangover I'm going to have probably several nights this weekend. But that's going to allow us to trim that back and match the angle of this bevel right here. So that's what we're going to do next. So to do that, we get out our little Tamiya 1-2-3s, and we just clip off any excess that we can, making sure to leave a little bit of meat on them bones so we can trim it back and make it nice and flush, right? So there you go. And the peanut gallery goes wild. Yes, yes. Bro butter, Tim. And then text is like, hey. Nice. William Williams, well, I have to go to bed early morning for me. Catch you all later. William, thank you for watching, buddy, as always. Chris Pabs, make sure you constantly vacuum that stuff, man. Nasty. Yeah, right? The resin dust. Bleh. Chris Pabs is up to 38 containers so far. He had to buy more containers for this Yak Mirage. My God. That's just, yeah. I don't know, man. That is not a project that I would want to tackle, Chris. That is not for me. And I build slow, man. You build fast. And I ain't even, that's, yeah, no. All right. So we're going to get our hobby knife. We're going to trim this up nice and even with the surface. This corresponding angle. We're just going to trim that back ever so slightly. This is not the first cut like this is not your finished pass. Keep that in mind. You're just basically knocking down the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. Your second and third passes, you get a little bit cleaner. You start to take off any of the glue, squeeze out, stuff like that, and you really start to get it, you know, trimmed nicely. And this is looking pretty good so far. Now, yeah, okay, I am on camera. Good. I didn't know if I was on camera or not. Okay. So that's looking pretty good right there. Let's do a little scraping here. And sweet, that passes the fingernail test. We're good to go, ready for the next step. Next step being to clean up the perimeters of this thing. So any glue that's squeezed out in the application process, we just want to trim that off of there because we're going to glue stuff down beside this, and we want that to be nice and straight and also level. So that's very, very important too, right? So we're going to get any of the squeeze out trimmed up and just try to get that out of here. Looking good, looking good. Okay, and then the last little bit right here. And what I'm doing is just letting the knife ride the surface of the plastic. And what will happen is it'll scrape up just the super glue and you'll leave a nice smooth plastic surface behind. And that's all we're doing right now. So problem that I'm running into is this particular blade is a little sharp for some of these angles. So we'll come in with our handy dandy little chisel blade here. And we'll just kind of just pop that up, scrape that out, and there we go. Now that plate right there, nice and clean. We're ready to go for the next step. Now, the next step, let me see if I remember my order of operations here. The next step, I believe we laid down the borders. Let's do that. So we've got 1.5 wide by 0.7 millimeters, 0.75 millimeter thick. That's a good border for this, right? Gotta hydrate. Must hydrate. No, I'm not really hydrated. I'm just kind of thirsty. Whatever. But I will need to hydrate out in Phoenix. Whew, boy. That's gonna be fun. All right, 100-degree weather. Okay. 85 is the low for this weekend. 85. Like, come on, man. Come on. The trick with this particular step is getting this straight. And getting it flush up against the base layer. This is the hard part. But it looks like we got it. And that's straight enough for me. So, Tex is like, yeah. And Space Rat says, hit 111 here in Las Cruces today. Bleh. Who says, you guys are going to lose some weight. Yeah, dude, for real. Yeah, I was checking out the weather, and every single day this weekend, this long Labor Day weekend, it's supposed to be over, I think it's supposed to be over 103 every single day for the high, and then it's never supposed to get below 85 for the low. So that's fun. That's a fun time. But luckily, we'll be inside, and we'll be around sweaty anime folks. Great. Looking forward to it. Anyway. Weapon X69, he's over there on YouTube. He says, perfect time to paint and dry outside. Yeah, for real. That paint will flash cure, basically. Persistent Eternal says, I drove through Arizona. It was 85 degrees. Started going up A mountain hit hit Flagstaff, and then it was snowing, came back down the mountain back to 85. Dude, yeah, no, it's like that. It's totally like that. Had a video shoot one time in Arizona, and I forget where it was. I forget the name of the place, but it was like an hour and 20 outside of Phoenix, up in the mountains, and it got cold. Like it was hot as shit. Down near Phoenix, but then it got cold up in the mountains, and I was just like, yeah, I wasn't ready for this. Wasn't ready at all. What are you gonna do? Captain Weirdbeard, he's over there on YouTube. What's up, Captain? Gabe says, it was so hot in Las Cruces, New Mexico today. Fuck, I skipped work. Jesus, man. That's crazy. Crazy. Alright, so, we've got our borders set and glued. We're in good shape there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to trim the overhang back right now, but what I am going to do, so we don't knock this off, is I'm going to trim it just within the confines of this piece, so we don't accidentally knock this thing around and you know, take off anything that we don't want to take off. Let's put it that way, right? Bro Better says, I gotta gray some painting, get some painting done. You guys are distracting as fuck. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. He says, peace. Brian, thank you for watching, buddy. Take care. Ben Cat Yap over there on YouTube, he says, what do people use melamine sponge for modeling? Melamine sponge. That's a good one, man. I don't really know. I've never used a melamine sponge before. Now, that could mean something else, you know, because terminology across the world differs. So, let me look this up here real quick, you guys. We're not going to take a field trip or anything, but I want to make sure that I'm not, you know, giving out weird information, because that would be bad, right? Let's see. Okay. So they're like the, okay. So they're like the Mr. Clean magic erasers. Yeah. So Sean says the Mr. Clean magic erasers. Okay. Yeah. Now I get it. Yeah, so I mean, I still don't have a great, answer for you. Gabe, Captain Weirdbeard says sponging on paint chips, maybe? Yeah, I mean, maybe. I've never had to use them. Never. I don't know, man. That's a great question. If anybody out there in the audience knows and can help bang out, I don't know. Like I said, I've never used them. I've never seen a purpose of using them. That just could be me not seeing how to use them. But yeah, if anybody knows. Zashan says for cleaning up panel lines. Okay. Now, would you say... Oh, okay. Little Plastic People says melamine sponges clean out files pretty well. Interesting. Okay. I think my wife has some upstairs. I might have to steal one and give it a shot, right? Not right now, but later. So that's pretty interesting. Chris Pab says I used it partially to apply pigments. Okay. We've got varying answers here. Huh. Interesting. Persistent Turtle says other sites say it gives your plastic a matte look. Yeah, I was going to say, to clean up panel lines, that's a little, might be a little harsh for that, like Zashan has suggested, so I'm not sure. But to give it a matte look, yeah, bring down the shine, I could definitely see that. Since it's like a finer weave, almost like steel wool, like fine steel wool, right? So, bang, hopefully that points you in the right direction at least. Yeah, I've never used them myself, but yeah, I don't know, man. Sorry. All right. So, getting back to the skirt here, yeah? We've got the borders. We've got these just knocked down, trimmed down to the confines of this. We've got the base plate down. Now what we've got to do is lay down these two strips along the side here. This strip here and this strip here. These are raised 1/4 millimeter off of the base plate. So we're going to need a backing layer to bring those up. So to do that, we've got, let's see, we've got two little pieces of 2 millimeter wide by 1/4 millimeter thick plastic sheet here. So we're going to glue these down real quick. And these are the same level, same thickness of the base plate. So those are going to go right up against the border strips here. Now, let's make sure we get the glue out of the corner of this border strip here, because that's important and that will impede placement of our filler strips here. So we get in there and just clean that out very carefully. Good. And let's see. All right, good stuff there. All right, so now we lay this down here. Just like that. We're going to pop this right on this side. Now, if you get a little squeeze out above right here in the seam, that's good, because that super glue will act as a filler in there. And as you can see, we've got, again, a little bit of overhang. That's exactly what we want. So then, after the fact, we can go back and trim this completely flush with the bevel that that we want, right? So, there you go. Come to Miami, now take us on a trip. No field trips today. You guys didn't get your signed parent permission forms, so no field trips for you. Yeah, I did that a few times, I remember, like in elementary school. They still let you go on a field trip anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. So good deal. Now we've got our two base plates down. These are these basically act as platforms for the next layer, and we're just going to trim off just that little bit from there. Now we've got 2 millimeter wide by 1/2 millimeter thick. We're raising the level up a bit here. Let's just make sure all the glue is out from this corner here. Now, by using a little bit of a thicker strip here, this is going to give us some nice level changes, and it's going to make it look really, really unique. Uh-oh, Mr. White Claw's here, you guys. What's up, little Andrew? Hide your White Claw, people. Now, if you guys missed Mechanism the other night, but are an avid watcher of the Child of Mecha live stream, Lil Andrew was on, And he was disputing the fact that he got drunk off White Claw when it's been on here in video recorded that yes, he admitted that he got drunk off White Claw. I don't know. And now he's denying it. It's okay, man. More like White Paul. Lil A couldn't harm a fly. That's right, Tex. Jeez. All right. Okay. So this is starting to come together pretty quickly here. So there, we've already got some really nice differences in levels going on, right? So we've got the 1.5 height of the border strips. We've got the 1/4 millimeter base layer. We've got the 0.5 millimeter layer on top of that. So we've got some good differences in level shaping up here, right? So that's a good thing. Andrew says, seriously, I never did. Because I don't remember. I've only drank beer. Dude, go back and watch. You're on YouTube saying that you got drunk off of White Claw. And you said you were mad at yourself. And a lot of these people that are here are my witnesses. Just saying. All right? Come Miami Chris says, yeah, somebody with a problem will say they're doing just fine. Just saying. Yeah. Right? Exactly. Oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, see, Zashan over there on Facebook even, he says, we were all witness to that drunkenness. Yeah, because I was translating. He's a and I was reading word for word what you typed in, Andrew. Come on now. We're not all lying. Oh my. Poor little Andrew. Alright, so you guys, this is looking pretty good. This side pretty much right now is done. It's finito. It's yeah, good to go. Obviously, we're going to need to trim up this bottom side to match the bevel, but that'll be one of the last things that we do. The next thing we have to do is trim this bit here to match the bevel that was there. Now, good thing is we've already trimmed back the base layer, so all we have to do is trim back these two side pieces, right? So, that's what we're going to do right now. You know what? I am going to change this blade because it is not cutting very well at all right now. So that needs a change. And we're going to swap these out. We're going to swap it in for a 45-degree blade so I have a little bit more usability here with these. Which one's open? This one's open. Okay, cool. So be very careful. Don't cut yourself. That would be bad. Oh, that's not the blade side anyway, so that's good. Alright, so there is that. Now, this is a little NT cutter blade and holder. Highly recommend them. They're amazing. The blades come in two different flavors, right? They come in the 45 degree, which is what I'm going to be putting in here, and then they come in the 30 degree. The 30 degree is more like you would see on a normal like X-Acto blade, like a number 11 blade, right? The 45 degree is a little bit more stubby, and I like that better because it can get it's almost like a cross between number 11 and a chisel blade almost. You can see you know, kind of the difference in blade shape here, right? So I like this one better. I just happened to pop in a 30 because I needed that longer draw from the blade. We're going to put this over here out of the way so it's not a danger. And get that excess oil off of there before we start to use it. And pop that in the handle. Lock it down. And now we're ready to rock. Oh yeah. Yep. Much better. Guys, when you need to put effort behind your blade, it's time to swap it out. Not only to keep the plastic nice and clean and safe, but also to keep you safe, because these dull blades are, well, can be dangerous because they can slip easier and they will cut you like crazy. Being cut by a dull blade is not fun. I'd rather be cut by a nice sharp blade. If I had to make the choice, I'd rather not be cut at all, but I'm just saying. Okay. So there, that is now pretty cleaned up. We're going to go back here with our bastard file and just really kind of fine-tune that bevel and get all these angles just nice and crispy sharp. Make sure everything is nice and flat, and there we go. That is perfect. All right, coming to the home stretch. Now we've got the bevel side to do, and then we can start detailing this thing up. So this is going pretty quick, right? Going pretty quick. Charge Twins, are those blades double-sided? No, they are just cut like that. I wish they were double-sided. Get double use out of a blade. That would be amazing, right? But no, they are just shaped that way. So, yeah. Let's see. Andrew says, so anyone asking when Tim is going to stop building Gundams and build other stuff? It's not. I'm not going to be doing that because I don't like other stuff. I like building Gundams, dude. And it really wouldn't be Child of Mecha if I didn't make Mecha. Right? So, no, I don't plan on building anything aside from Gundam or Mecha or anything like that. That's just me. 5-star stories. I don't like them. I don't like them. They're too fancy. They're too dainty. Like you, Andrew. Let's see. Manny McDio says a lot of control within the 45-degree blade. Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. Tex says, Sam the Cooking Guy hurt himself with a dull blade. Yeah, exactly. That shit is not fun. I watch Sam the Cooking Guy all the time. He's great. So, yeah. Let's see. Gunpla Miami. Chris says, man, watching you guys work on video and on social media, I got to improve my game. Dude, it's experience, man. It's just experience. You have to keep in mind that I kind of have an unfair advantage compared to most people because I started this like almost 20 years ago, man. So I have that luxury of experience. Keep continuing, keep building, keep progressing. That's the main thing, right? Never try to compare yourself to anyone else, because they might have a different ability, a different set of skills, a different level of experience even, right? Keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. But continue to get better, though. That's the key. Julio says, high heels for life. Man, get out of here, Julio. Man, I'll put you in high heels, make you walk the corner. Oh, he called me fancy. You are a little fancy boy, aren't you? You little fancy fucker. Chris says, I'm too nervous working with blades. With my caveman hands, I'm always breaking stuff. Ah, man, you gotta get past that, dude. You just gotta get into it, man. Chris Pab says, Lil Andrew, you can follow me if you want. I do other mecha. It's true. Mecha that I would not want to work on, that's for sure. Char Twin says, a dull blade hurts worse to me than a sharp blade. It absolutely does, because it's that dull, it's almost like serrated and no, thank you. No. So Sean says, it ain't child of Fabergé eggs, Andrew. Gundam always. Damn right, Z. Mackay is another fun thing to build. It's not my style, Andrew. Just stop trying to impose your will on people, dude. It ain't gonna work, especially on me. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Julio Proho, right? Proho. That's a good one. That's a good one. Holy shit. And Julio says, you would know, Chris. Yeah, for real. All right, cool deal. All right, so let's get back to this thing and let's get cracking here. So what we got to do next is lay down this piece. Now, as you can see, this piece is the upper bevel piece, and that's this piece right here. And I know it's hard to see on camera because there's no contrast on white pieces, but this is nice and beveled here, and that's what this base piece is there. So now what we got to do, since we're going to be laying this down completely flat, there's not going to be much overhang, so we've got to kind of stab it right down here at the base, and we can kind of stab it pretty good because we're going to be laying this down, and this little part here is actually going to be overhang, so perfectly fine. So let's get some nice super glue up on this thing. Okay. And now placement of this is crucial because we got to line it up both vertically and horizontally. Right about there. That looks good. Nice. Alright, and then clean up any of the glue. Squeeze out along the perimeter. Let's make sure, yep, that's lined up really good. Excellent. All right, so there's our top base there. Oh yeah, there you can see it really nice with the shadows and everything. So, and that's lined up really well with those border pieces. Really good. That's what we want to see. Now, before we move on, we have to clean up these edges here. Now, to do that, it's a good thing we've got this nice new sharp blade, because now we have to cut down into this thing and start removing plastic up to that raised bit there. And we're just going to channel that off. Just like that. Alright, now we do the same thing to the other side. Good. Now we start to go for our cleanup passes here. Kind of got the low-hanging fruit all trimmed out. Let our knife ride the surface of this piece, and that will act as a guide. Nice. Okay. Okay. Just trim this nice and flat there. And so now we've got a nice little U channel in there. Looking good. Looking good. Alright, so now we've got to still trim these two raised pieces. A little easier. Now we might have to fill that little gap there because that seems to be catching on my fingernail a little bit. Right, yeah, right there. So we'll fill that in here with super glue in just a second. And same thing with this side. We got a little gap there. Not a big deal though. That's why they make super glue, folks. And that's why I use it, because it's amazing. And I just scraped this down just to get it super, super smooth and to make that transition, that seam line just disappear, right? Manny says, I'm like a sushi chef over here. Yeah, man, you know, the thing is, it's not that hard. Knife work is not that hard with this smaller knife like this, right? And the 45-degree blades, of course, too, make the control so much better. I highly recommend this little NT cutter holder, you guys. And the 45-degree blades especially. Now, the 45-degree blades will work in any hobby knife handle. But I just like the size of whoa, sorry about that. I think I hit the microphone. I just like the size of this little, this little hobby knife. If you look at it compared to, say, Olfa, you can see the drastic size difference, right? So that's the thing. So Char Twin says, learning new detail ways from watching you build, Tim. Hey man, that's what we're here for, right? The details. It's the details. Oh yeah. Anyway, little Andrew says, all right, back to Mandarake online store, my favorite new love. Yeah, bye Andrew. Julio Ponte, Mr. Clip and Nubs, has...
We have a question.
He says, is the Gelgoog going to have a different detail styling than the Zaku? Probably not, because I mean they're in the same world, and they're both Xeon units, right? So no, they're gonna have the same styling, but the Gelgoog is going to be much more customized, more kit bashed, more complex, the whole 9 yards. The Gelgoog is going to be the fun one. So if you guys like this, you're going to love the Gelgoog. Let's put it that way. I've got a lot of plans for the Gelgoog. A lot of plans. Some very complex things. So, yeah. Now, mind you, don't discredit our little Zaku here. Our little Zaku's a little badass. I love this little Zaku. And if this was my only model that I had ready for, say, like a GBWC or something like that, I would enter it in a heartbeat. Make a cool little base for him, enter him in, and just hope for the best. But he's not going to be the only one. The Gelgoog is coming. The Hunter. Yes, the Hunter. Manny McDio says, I have the 45-degree blades from Olfa. Excellent. See, but you know what? I just like the smaller size of this You know, it just helps to get in to the little spaces and stuff like that. It just makes it a little bit easier. So, Donnie over there on Facebook, he says, NT Cutter, one of the best little changes I made. See? It's good. It's a good little knife, man. And they're it's a Japanese company too, so the quality is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And if you're wondering where to get them, Amazon. Let's see. Andrew says, it's always going to be his style. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it be? It's not going to be someone else's style, right? Charge Winds says, is there a 2.0 of that kit, the Gelgoog? Yes, there is. There's several. Several 2.0 Gelgoog kits, and it's pretty awesome. Very solid. Very good engineering. I have the Char's version of the Gelgoog. He's sitting over here on my other big workbench, and yeah, he's waiting to be modified, upgraded. Chris R, he's over there on YouTube, Mr. Arizona Gumpo Builder. He says, good evening, everyone. Man, I'm going to be hanging out with Chris this weekend, man. It's going to be a lot of fun at Sabaton Con. I'm going to tell you that right now. Franker358 on YouTube, he says, yep, Tim, you got me on the NT knife as well. See? It's just a good product, you guys. It's just really, really well made. It's just awesome, right? All right, let's see if we can't finish this out tonight, right? I'm hopeful. We only got a few more parts to lay down here. I gotta fill these little gaps in. So let's get a little scrap piece of plastic and try to get this excess off here, because the less we have to take off, the better. Okay, there we go. Toss that. All right, so what we're going to do to speed this process up, the curing of the super glue, is we're going to hit this with this right here, Instaset by Bob Smith. This stuff is actually really quite good, and I've been using it quite a lot. Shout out to Bailey. And for those of you wondering where Bailey is, Bailey has been working on his what is it? His thesis or something for like grad school or whatever. So he's been insanely busy. So that's why he hasn't been with us here for a while. But I have confidence that he'll be back once he's done with school and everything. So not to worry. And if you really need your Bailey fix, man, go check out the Cutting Mat podcast from our boy Joel, Mr. True Gunpla, and all those guys, because that is an amazing podcast, by the way. Did this? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna hit this with that, and then we're going to let this dry. We're gonna speed it along here and just kind of all that. Zashan says, little secret, NT Cutter makes all those Tsujibori-do chisels and tools. Really? They make the handles? I thought Tsujibori-do was a separate company. Andrew, I thought you were going to go cruise Mandarake. Why are you still on here? Yeah, I was going to say, they make the handles, so right here. Yeah. So, and it's, I don't know if you're gonna ever be able to see that, but there's a little NT Cutter embossed right here on the handle of the Tsujibori-do ceramic scraper. So I'm thinking, Zashan, I'm thinking it's just the handles, but you never know. I don't know. It could be something different. So. All right, so that Instaset cures the glue really quickly, like within 5 to 8 seconds. And you just got to wait for the rest of it to kind of dry out and cure off. Okay. Alright, fingernail test. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. We are good to go. Houston, we are ready for launch. Perfect. All right, so let's clean up the other side here, and then we will commence to wrapping the other bits of plastic over the bevel here. All right. So I have a really good feeling that we're going to get this done tonight, you guys, because like I said, we only have a few more pieces to lay down on this thing, and then trim it up and get the bevels in here properly, and we should be good to go. All right, so that's nice and clean there. Perfect. Moving on. Andrew says, I'm doing both. A, leave me be. Wah. Cry me a river, Andrew. This kid, man. Kills me every time. All right. So let's clean up the little glue that spilled over to the side here from where we filled in those gaps. Pretty normal. Now, if I didn't clean up this glue out of these gaps and stuff, the alignment on these pieces would be way, way off. So that's very important to understand. Because when you're duplicating details like this, man, it is really crucial to have alignment consistent on both sides, right? So that's what we're doing right now, is we are just making sure all the glue is not obstructing any of our pieces that we're going to lay down here. So we're pretty good there. All right, so next part is to lay down the two overlapping border pieces. So for that, we've got another piece of 1.5 by 0.75 millimeter, right? Chris R says, Tim, not sure if you mentioned before I joined, but do you prefer the NT cutter? Yes, over the Olfa. 100%, yes. Yeah, we were actually talking about that just before you jumped on, Chris, and kind of why I like the NT cutter. The Olfa is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The Olfa is amazing. And if you have, you know, big caveman hands, like I think it was Chris, Mr. Gunpla in Miami, had said that. I could be wrong, though. Then the Olfa knife might be perfect for you, you know? But me, I've got, like, my mom always said I have, like, piano fingers. Kind of, you know, long, thin fingers, you know? Big hands, but, you know, long, thin fingers. So, shit I have to go through. Anyway, let's get this other border piece. Now, alignment on these pieces is really, really crucial, because it needs to be straight. Since these are basically standing up vertically, they need to be straight down with the other border piece that's corresponding to it, right? That's very important. So make sure you take your time and place these things appropriately. Looking good. All right. So there, you can kind of see those are overhung, so we can trim them up perfectly, right? So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to take our Tamiya 123s, and we're going to trim them up slightly above where we need to, because we're going to sand the rest back and make it nice and flush. So there, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. So it's just raised just a little bit off of the top there, right? So what we're going to do next is we're going to try to trim this down with the knife and just kind of take down just kind of the low-hanging fruit, like I said before. And then what we'll do to really flush this out, we will come back with a sanding block and just make it nice and smooth. Alright, so we took a lot more off of there, like that. So now, we hit it with the sanding block, and we're going to even make sure both of these are perfectly even and parallel to one another. Not quite there yet. That one is. So we're going to rotate this around. Cool. That passes the fingernail test. And let's see, those are pretty dang straight. Yeah, good deal. All right, so now that these are laid down, we have to even up the sides. And if we did it correctly, all we're really going to have to do is kind of just scrape down the seam. And those are good to go. Yes, nice. I like it. I like it. This one's got a little bit more squeeze out, so we're going to trim back the glue just a little bit there. Am I on camera? No. Just like that. And now we're safe to scrape that surface down. Nice and smooth. Good all the way around. Excellent. So now, last thing we're going to do with these two border pieces is make sure the bevel here is even as well. So we're going to just hit that with the sanding block there. So now both of those bevels are good to go. All right, so we are almost there, you guys. We've got about 3 more pieces to lay down, and that's it. And it's 11:53. So yeah, so we should be definitely able to finish this one up here tonight. So the 2 last plastic sheet pieces that we're going to be putting on here are the overlap for these raised strips here. And as you can see, we beveled both of these to enhance the look of them. And we're going to pop these on each side, trim those up, and we should almost be good to go. Okay. Now we are going to align these with the pieces right there. Oh, come on now. Right there. And that's going to make a nice a nice looking overlap piece. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Just like that. Okay, so we've got the last two plastic strips down, and you can see we've got some good overhang there. So we're going to take our Tamiya 123s. We're going to trim back as much as we possibly can without biting into too much of the strip, because we want to leave a little bit of meat on those bones to be able to trim it flush with the piece underneath, right? All right, so we got that done. Let's get that trimming done up here. Sure that surface is nice and flush. Run your fingernail over it. Make sure, see if it catches. Run your blade down there just to smooth it out. Man, that looks good. That looks good. Now do the other side. Alright, same thing. We're going to scrape down the length of this strip. Just like that. And construction on the side detail piece is essentially done. So, Julio says, are you going to lay down some photo etch down on those skirts? Probably not. I don't know. I didn't really plan on it, Julio, to be honest with you. I think photo etch is one of those things, unless you're going full out, like with a photo etch detail kit, like you know, some of the kits that you see. I prefer to use photo etch sparingly, just to give that kind of illusion of scale. And we've done it on the shoulders, we've done it on kind of the front skirts and stuff too, so you got to know when kind of enough is enough. And for right now, I think that's a good amount so far. I'll take a look at the Zaku as a whole, you know, kind of later down the line. But as of right now, I think it's probably a good amount. I may change my mind, but we'll jump that hurdle when we come to it, right? So, all right. So, last construction step is to add this little Kotobukiya piece right here, right? So, for this, since this is going to be overlapping, like you see here, and it's going to kind of make its own level, we need to add some filler strip underneath of it as kind of backing there, right? So, let's see, to do that, nope, that's 1/2 mil, we don't need that. Where, this is, I believe this is the one that we need here. Yep, okay, let's get the 6. Let's see if this is the one. Yep, that's the one right there. 0.25. Okay, cool. All right, so we are going to, I believe this is 2 millimeter. Let's double check before we cut. Yep, that is 2 millimeter. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little strip of this, a little bit longer than the width of this detail piece, because this is going to be our filler. This is going to be our kind of our underneath backing strip, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to apply a little bit of glue to this. And then we're going to take our Kotobukiya piece here, and we're going to apply this to the back side of it. And we're going to flush this level right up against the edge of this detail piece. And we're going to press that into place. Now that's adhered. We're going to trim this back to the size of the detail piece. So we're going to get these the strips flushed with the piece, right? So we take the most of it off there with the cutters, with the nippers, and then we'll go back with our hobby knife and just trim this bad boy up here, just like that. Take the corner off just a little bit. Now since this is nice and flush, we don't have to do anything with the one side. And good there. Alright, so last thing we have to do with this is hit this with the sanding block just to make sure everything is nice and flat. We're going to do all three of those sides that this is adhered to. Just like that. And so now you've got this filler strip on the back here, and that's going to provide a platform for this to sit on and overhang, and that's going to create our little X plate right there. Good, 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 good. Alright, so we'll get that off of there, and we're just going to kind of stab this into the corner of one of these X's here with our hobby knife, and we're going to apply super glue on the back side, both to the short side and the long. And so now what we got to do is we have to be very, very careful, line this up as best as we can in the middle, and we've got to make sure that the backing strip is flush up against the base. Just like that. Okay. And there we go. Principal construction of this is pretty much done. Looking good. Looking good. All right. So what we'll do real quick next is to clean out this little excess glue here. Now to do that appropriately, we're going to, let's see if 0.5 millimeter is good. Yeah, this should be good. Just get in here with your 0.5 millimeter chisel. This makes quick work out of getting this glue squeeze out cleaned up here. And if you don't have a chisel, man, just use your hobby knife. Just be super, super careful with it, because this is a kind of a tight channel right here. And it looks like the super glue didn't fill underneath of that plate all the way. So we're going to fill that in just a little bit with some glue. Just like that. And we've got a little drop there on this little corner piece, and we're just going to go along here. And by capillary action, that super glue is going to seep into that seam and help us fill that in. Now I'm going to do a second round of that. Awesome. And now we're going to use one of these other corners to clean up the excess here. get that wiped away. Now, once we're completely done, we're gonna have to come back, and I'm gonna have to scrape out all the super glue and everything like that, and really clean this up. But you kind of get the idea of what construction of this detail piece kind of looks like here. It's super easy assembly if you pre-cut your pieces when you do it the first time. That's what I did, so that's why it was really simplistic to build this thing within the time allotted, we had tonight. Now the last thing that we're going to do here on the stream tonight is just kind of flush out these bottom bits with the bevel that we have established down here at the bottom of this piece. We're just kind of trimming off the excess here. Okay, good there. All right, so now we're going to set in this bevel here with our bastard file. Perfect. And last thing we're going to do tonight is hit this with the sanding block and make that all nice, silky smooth. All right. Now, aside from construction, it would just include minor detailing. So what I did with this piece is I added two very little thin strips on top here, just to kind of give it a little character. And then I outline scribed the whole thing and added a couple notches here and here, and then added a vertical notch just below this Kotobukiya detail piece there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that's construction on this detail piece. It's not hard, you guys. It's not. Any one of you can do this. It's just tedious and it takes some work, right? So trust me, you have the ability. You've seen how I did it, right? So now you can do it. It's just cutting a little bit of plastic strip, laying it down, making your levels and stuff like that, incorporating some other parts like the Kotobukiya part, cut some bevels. Man, you're good to go. And Chris says it's very hard. Dude, it's so not, man. It's so not. You just have to keep everything. You have to take your time. You have to have just a really high attention to detail. That's the one thing. And don't overthink it. Don't complicate things, right? Now, mind you, I can sit here and say, oh yeah, it's easy, you can do it. But trust me, you can do it. I know you're second guessing yourselves. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. Comes with experience, you guys. You're gonna mess up the first time. I get it. Try it again. And you'll be good. You'll be good. Soravan's over there on Twitch. He says design is the hard part. The rest is measure, cut, glue, repeat. Yeah, man. I totally agree with you. And that, for me, is the hardest part, too, the design. The design is absolutely the hardest part. And I will not lie to you. The way that I came up with this is I just started laying plastic down. I had a somewhat of an idea in my head, but I just laid it down. I just laid plastic down and I went with it. And then it came out like what you see. Part of it's luck, too, you guys. Get that in your head. Create your own luck. Hell yeah. Chris Pabs over on Facebook, he says, shit, if I can do it. Come on, man. Julio Ponte, there you go. See? Julio knows what's up. He says, I'm going to need you to stop speaking like that about your Dom. He's talking to Chris R. I agree with Julio, man. Totally agree. Man. You know what, Chris? The thing is, you and Luis, the two of Ultraman Dyna, Luis and Chris R, over here on YouTube. They're doing a Dom build off, and they're both sending me pictures of their Dom and everything like that. And I'm gonna tell you what, neither one of them have gone like this far into the woods in terms of customizing, scratch building, all that good stuff, right? And both of them are doing a bang out job. They really are, and I couldn't be more proud, to be honest with you, because these guys are way, way, way outside their comfort zone, and completely outside their box. That's the best place to be when you're creating something like this. Just saying. It's the best place to be. And trust me, just like Sorvan said, design's the hard part. Designing is the hard part. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But the rest is like he said. Measure, cut, glue, repeat. Measure, cut, glue, repeat. Measure, cut, glue, repeat. Holy shit, I should make that into like a t-shirt or something. Measure, cut, glue, repeat. Like, come on, man. You guys can do it. Donnie's over there on YouTube. He says, both of those DOMs are absolutely fantastic. See? Told you. I told you. Chris R says, LOL, love you, Julio and Tim. Aww. Group hug. Manny says, working on them bangers, right? Come on, man. You guys are doing great. You guys are really doing great. And just, you know what? Just keep at it. Just keep at it. You know? Just keep at it. So Chris R over there on YouTube, he says, you should make that a shirt, Tim, and put a picture of the chopper on it. I would probably get in trouble, especially from Northwest Shortline. I don't think they'd like that too much. But it's a good saying. It absolutely is. So Sorvan, man, shout out. Measure, cut, glue, repeat. Simple. Design is the hard part. There's no doubt in my mind. And I will not discount that fact. But if you can design it, you can build it. That, I have absolute confidence in you guys. I do. And if you have a problem, if you run into a hurdle, message me. I'll help you out. Come on. That's what we're here for. We're Mecha Army, baby. See? That's what we do. All right, boys. 12:13. We got the detail piece done. We're moving on. I've got to clean up that piece, and then the back skirts are pretty much done, you guys. The only parts that I have to do are the fuel tanks on the wing binders on the back, and then I want to do. I have an idea for the knees. I want to do something with that. And then just kind of taking a look at the overall aesthetic of everything, and then balancing everything with one another and making sure everything looks good cohesively. Because that's important. That's important, man. But then after that, Gelgoog time. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. For real. I can't wait for that. Chris R says the Dom build finish was pushed to SCGMC. Yes, Luis messaged me, so yeah, I'm fully aware. Chris says, I plan on bringing my Dom to Sabo and pose next to the one out of the box, one I have to show the difference. See? That's perfect, man. Then everybody can see the work that you put into it. That's a good idea. Manny McDowell says, you guys are not behind. You got 2 solid months. There you go. 01 Shield says, go crazy, skydive out of comfort zone and make people drool over your fun build. God damn right, man. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that sentiment. Make something awesome. Chris R says, plan was to bring them to Sabo originally. Yeah, things happen. You know what? You guys are in the deep end. There's no planning at that point. It's just... It is what it is. You build until it's done. You stay until the work is done. Simple. 01 Shield continues. He says, finally just finished my first LED work on a high-grade Barbie and a Kuton. A Kuton? Is that like a crouton? I don't know what that is. I'm not up on IBO either, if that's what it's from. Sounds like crouton. Like a salad or something. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, man. So, dude, if you can think it, you can build it. Seriously. You can absolutely do it. Man, if I could make like fully deployed parachutes, you guys saw what I had to go through with that, right? You experienced the frustration and the research and development with me. Like, it was taxing and I didn't know if I could even do it. But I did. I found a solution and it worked. And it worked really well. You guys can do the same thing with whatever that you're building. It's just the way that it is. So just do it, man. Just do it. You guys can pull it off. I have utter faith in you guys. Because we're Mecha Army. 01 Shield, last one. He says, long distance booster from IBO was too lazy to type it out. Oh, I got you. I still like crouton. Long distance booster crouton. I like that. Give it a good old Caesar salad. Ha! Anyway, all right, you guys. We're gonna tie this up tonight because I gotta get to the gym. And we're gonna be back here on Wednesday to finish out the week because I'm going to Sabo on Thursday, hanging out with some amazing people. Those Gundam guys, Chris and the Arizona Gumpo Builders, and just having a good time at SabotinCon this weekend, you guys. I will absolutely try to maybe do a little bit of live streaming from there, maybe on Instagram. I don't know. I say it now, I'm gonna try, but most of the times it never happens. And I'm gonna try to take pictures and stuff like that, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna promise anything because I'm gonna have fun, and I want to make sure people around me are gonna be having fun too. So that's the goal. But until then, guys, I'll see you here Wednesday, man. Build something cool. Be safe out there. Enjoy your Tuesday. Get outside of your box and do something new. That's your homework. Go. Enjoy. All right. Everybody, I will see you on Wednesday.